Welcome to UMBC's Master of Arts in Education Open House. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to join us this evening. So I want to introduce you first to the MAE team, and then we'd like to hear from you as well. I am Jerry Frick. I'm the MAE Director and also the Coordinator for our Mathematics Education programs. Tracy Irish is our STEM and Science Education Coordinator for the MAE program. Deborah Karaoke is the Computer Science Education Program Coordinator. Gene Schaefer is a professor in our education department, and he works both in the MAE program and in other education programs. He normally teaches our teacher research and our teacher leadership type courses. Rita Williams is our MAE program coordinator, and she handles all the back end administrative types of processes. She'll help you with application processes, registration processes. She's your first point of contact for any communication through university systems as well. Okay, so our MAE program is 36 credits, which equals 12 courses, which are 3 credits each. The 12 credits are separated as such. There are 5 core education courses. Themes in those education courses include teacher research, teacher's leadership, using data to form instruction. Those are just a few of the themes that I wanted to highlight tonight. You also are required to take one additional MAE course, which is approved by your advisor, and those courses usually are a high-level pedagogy course that is infused with the content area. So, for example, it could be culturally responsive instruction in one of our content areas, mathematics, computer science, or STEM. It could also be, like I mentioned before, a higher level pedagogy type of course that's based in the content area. We also have 6 content courses in our MAE programs. Those content courses, of course, will be aligned with the content area you select for your program, so computer science, mathematics, or STEM. And all of our content courses are infused with pedagogy as well. So I like to think of it as you're teaching as you're learning the coursework, you're also a teacher thinking about how is this being taught to me? How am I learning this material? How would I teach this to my students? What difficulties or questions might my students have as they're learning this material? What methods would I use, etc.? And I really think that that's just part of us being teachers, is we're thinking about those things alongside of learning the content or deepening our content knowledge in those areas. So some highlights of our MAE program that we wanted to share with you. The program is fully online. We started teaching online in the MAE program 5 years ago, so this is not new for us. Our programs have a strong content focus, which, as I've mentioned before, half of our program is content courses, and our other courses in the education core and the education elective are all based in that content area. So any projects that you're doing in those courses relate to your content area. So if you're writing a literature review, you're writing a literature review in your chosen topic in your content area. So it relates specifically to what you're doing in the classroom. We also focus on equity in education and culturally responsive instruction. Those are huge themes throughout our program. Other focuses of our program include interdisciplinary approaches, inquiry and project-based teaching and learning, and technology. All of those things are infused into our program throughout the courses, and we feel that those are really strong highlights of our program. So the cost of the MAE degree, some of you may have seen this information already, but we also wanted to share it here. It's $12,000 for the entire master's degree, and that breaks down into $1,000 for each of our 12 3-credit courses. There are no additional university fees. After this webinar, you will be emailed a code for the application fee waiver, and students in our program are responsible for textbooks and course materials, but as we know, we're working with teachers. We do try to keep the cost of those textbooks and course materials quite low. We do our best with that. So I wanted to once again give you the contact information for our program. We are all listed there with our emails. Email is the best way to reach us right now since we're all off campus. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see our MAE website. Some of you may have found us already through that, which is mae.umbc.edu. Again, that's mae.umbc.edu. mae.umbc.edu, which has lots of information about our program and also how to apply to the program if you're interested. Welcome to the mathematics portion of tonight's open house. I want to thank all of you for coming and for your interest in the Mathematics MAE. Just going to do another quick introduction. I'm Jerry Frick. I'm the Graduate Program Director for the Master of Arts in Education program, and I'm also the coordinator for the Mathematics Education concentration of the MAE. Our Mathematics MAE program actually has two concentrations, the pre-K to 8 or the secondary mathematics. So middle school teachers actually can choose then which program best fits their needs. If they want to become certified in secondary mathematics or are already certified in secondary mathematics, I would of course recommend them to do the secondary math program. If someone wants to become middle school certified only but not fully secondary certified, who is already 1 through 8 certified or elementary middle certified, then the pre-K to 8 program might be more appropriate. So we do focus on the mathematics that you actually teach. Listed below there, you'll see some of the different courses that we offer for each program, the content courses. Our content courses are all infused with pedagogy. So we definitely want to focus on the content that you are learning, the teaching and learning of that content. I think that's really important for teachers. I know as I take courses, I definitely am thinking about how is this being taught to me? How am I learning this material? How would I teach this to my students and how would they learn and what issues and concerns would they have as they're learning things. I just can't really turn that teacher side of me off, and I feel like a lot of the teachers that we've had in our program are very similar in that way, that they're not just concerned about only learning the content only. They want to talk about how it's taught, how it's learned, and how to use best practices to teach that material as well. So you see in the pre-K to 8 side, we start with numbers, number systems, and operations, and then we move up into some of the higher level mathematics that you might possibly see in middle school, or at least definitely exploring with discrete math and calculus into those mathematical content areas of where your students will go. And that is truly an exploration into those content areas. You're just looking at those content areas, seeing what they're all about, what do they mean, what is kind of work is being done in industry in those fields, just to give you an idea of where your students may be going. Now, you'll see one course that's the same in both, the Advanced Algebra and Trigonometry. That is actually taught quite differently from the pre-K to math to the secondary math. It just, we use the same course there. Of course, the pre-K to 8 math would focus a little bit more on that advanced algebra and into that trigonometry content area, a little bit more focused on the content if the teachers in the course need that. Whereas the secondary math, if we have a lot of teachers in there that are already secondary certified and quite comfortable with the content, it might be more of a pedagogy heavy type of course infused with the content. So talking about the content, making sure that we're reviewing all the content or deepening the knowledge of the content while really focusing on the content, really focusing on the pedagogy, the teaching and learning of that content area. So that is one of the things that we do a lot in our courses, is we do differentiate, especially in these content courses. We do want to see where each of the teachers in our courses are with the content that we're going to be teaching, and we'll then know if we need to make separate groups based on the amount of content knowledge review that someone might need or not. So usually we do find that we have a couple of groups, and so that way we can make sure we're modifying and differentiating as appropriate. Definitely we can differentiate individually as we need to for teachers that may also need that. So it's really important to us that we are making sure that we're meeting your needs with what you will need to take into the schools with you. So some of the benefits of our Mathematics MAE concentrations are that the Math MAE has been fully online for 5 years, and we continue to incorporate student feedback and new online teaching and learning technologies and strategies. We continue to learn in this ever-growing field, and we continue to improve along with that. We ask our students how things are going, what they liked, what they didn't like, and we make these modifications in our courses and in our instruction. So the Math MAE was the first of the MAE programs to go online, so we are leading the way in with our program in that. We notice that right now with all that's happening, that a lot of our students are saying to us, oh, your courses really help me be prepared for what I'm doing right now, as they've moved to online teaching and instruction. They understand some of the different technologies that are being used, or different modes. They may be using a different software, but they still may be doing webinars, or they may be doing online questions and answers and doing quizzes that way, or assignments that way. And they really have a better understanding of what's happening based on taking our courses. And I really appreciate the feedback that I'm receiving from those teachers regarding that, and I'm glad that we've helped them as they've moved to this into this situation that we never thought we'd be in, but that they are better prepared to teach online and do what they need to do to help their students. Our program is aligned with the pre-K to 6 and 4 to 9 mathematics instructional leadership endorsements from MSDE. We do ask that once you complete our program, you go through your certification office to apply directly to MSDE. We do not at UMBC officially put the stamp on your program saying that you've completed those endorsements. That may be something we work on in the future, but right now the process is you complete our program and you go through your certification office to then apply to MSDE directly for either those pre-K to 6 or 4 to 9 mathematics instructional leader endorsements. We do blend content and pedagogy in all of our content courses, as I've mentioned before. This is really important to us, so I know I'm stressing that quite a bit. Culturally responsive instruction, equity, and mathematics education are definitely a passion of mine and an interest of mine, and I really feel that this is essential to be part of our program and embedded in every single course that we teach. That includes our modeling it ourselves, differentiating, providing additional accessibility modes whenever necessary, and making sure that we're using the best practices we can for teaching online. So I look at our MAE, especially in mathematics, as a way to continue professional development. So of course your teachers in the field, you go through our program as our students, but some of the things that we do in our program is we have you develop professional development and actually lead some professional development in your schools, and then you get some feedback on us about it and as well. So I think that helps prepare you for that next step of delivering professional development if you haven't already done it. If you've done it before, fabulous, and we can benefit from your experiences that you can share with others and your advice. Once you become our alumni, then we often look at our pools of alumni for people that we may need to become adjunct instructors. So I feel like it's kind of this pipeline here of you become our students, our alumni, and then possibly into an adjunct instructor role. Many of our adjunct instructors in the mathematics MAE are alums. Not all, of course, but we do have quite a few that are, and it's just been amazing to bring back those amazing students, and they are out teaching full-time in the school system and are able to share their knowledge and experience with us. Plus they understand our program inside and out because they've been through the program, and they can often give us great suggestions on courses and keep improving those courses. And another great thing is, as I mentioned, them being out in the schools, they're on the front lines with everybody who's teaching in the schools. Now those of us at the university, we can visit schools, we can be in schools, we can observe what's going on, but we're no longer in the P12 classroom every single day. So it's a little bit different. It's a step away from being in the field. So it's really important to me to have instructors who are still in the classrooms, who are master teachers, and who are really qualified to strengthen our program even more. I did want to provide you with my contact information, which is right there. The best way to reach us right now is email, since we're all off campus. My email is just my last name, frick@umbc.edu. And I also wanted to provide you with Rita Williams' email. She is our program coordinator and handles all the administrative processes for our program. And her email is ritaw@umbc.edu. In the picture is our mascot. He's UMBC's True Grit. He is a Chesapeake Bay Retriever, and he is if there was a better picture of his nose is what I wanted to say. The front of his nose is actually, you can actually see it looks, kind of coppery or bronze, where students rub his nose for good luck. So that is one of the things that you may notice if you ever see our campus in person, as this is a fully online program. I just wanted to give you a little picture of a tiny portion of campus there, a portion of a building, and our mascot. So again, I will head over to the chat box, answer any questions. Don't hesitate to ask any questions live here as well using your microphone. And before we get to the question, I just want to thank you personally for joining us tonight to learn more about our MAE and more specifically here about the mathematics MAE program. And I really appreciate your time. So don't hesitate to contact us if you have any other questions. And you will get an email after the session with the application fee waiver code. So please be on the lookout for that if you're interested in applying. And again, our website is mae.umbc.edu. I want to thank you for joining us, and I really appreciate you taking the time to learn more about our program, and I look forward to working with you in the future.